She knows how to use her WhatsApp, everything. I've taught her that. So, you know, I put TikTok on her phone for her to be a part of what's going on in her country. She has voted for the Labour Party for all her life. And I want her to know what's going on with the Labour Party, and TikTok is the major source.
Oh Lord, I love it. Come, we have to take a good picture together. So this is grandmother and granddaughter.
Yes.
90 years old, 19 years old.
I'm 33 actually. Yeah.
Oh Lord. But tell them about why you put TikTok on your grandmother's phone.
Well, I put TikTok on her phone because she's 90 years old. 89 actually. She was 1989. 36 actually. I want her to know what's going on in the culture based on her culture and the different cultures. And I think TikTok will be the major source in educating her about what's going on in the world globally. So I put her on TikTok.
But you see this cultural dynamic where the younger generation, who you would say they are technology native, they are native to TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and all of those things. They are the ones who are teaching the older generations how to use the technology. And so you like it, Grandma, TikTok?
She was just on TikTok when I went to get her. She was just on TikTok just now.
So it's just what do you think about it?
You know what? The other day I came home, I saw her.
You watch me on TikTok?
No, yes, and everybody marching and
yes. She's a part of it. So TikTok is what I use to educate her on what's going on with the Labour Party. Because if it's not JLP's, it's not Jamaica Labour Party, there's no other party.
Bless you. Carry.
See some JPS over here. And I'm happy to see JPS here as a plan that is going to reduce the cost of energy. Let me not go any further than that. But, you know, every Jamaican is very much concerned about the cost of energy. And they look at other countries and they say, why is it that our energy cost is just so high? And we have done all kinds of things. We've changed the regulatory environment. We have changed, we, as a country, one of the things that we can be proud of across political administrations is that we developed in 2009 an energy plan under the Bruce Golding administration, which called for the introduction of LNG that was carried through under the Portia Simpson administration and carried through under us. So the energy transition is fairly stable in terms of politics. And we managed to have that transition, as Minister Voss pointed out, 60% of our energy is now generated through LNG. So we have done some transformations in the energy space, but it has not resulted in a reduction and stabilization of energy costs. Energy costs continue to be far too high, not just for consumers, but also for businesses, which ultimately means higher cost of living for consumers. So the government has to take on this problem and bring the cost of energy down. It's a multifaceted approach to bring the cost of energy down. Minister Vaz told you of one of the important initiatives that we will undertake, which is to renegotiate the license. I don't want to go into it too much. We have good faith negotiations. So the truth is, however, that the structure of the license has to be renegotiated for greater efficiency but also for greater accountability. So that is underway already, and the country can be assured that in the same way we have tackled the big problems, debt, fiscal management, crime, we're going to tackle and bring down the cost of energy to households and homes. But the cost of energy, it's not just in terms of the economic cost. We are a government that is also very much concerned about the climate and the impact on the climate. Granted, what we contribute to global warming or any climate change impact is absolutely negligible. Absolutely negligible. But we still occupy a planet, and the space that we occupy is some of the most vulnerable areas in the world. As an island, low-lying, in a hurricane belt, we must be concerned. So if we're going to raise our voices globally about climate change, then we can't at the same time be irresponsible in how we conduct our own energy consumption. So it's important for us to integrate within our energy provision and our energy mix more climate-friendly fuels. But there is also another kind of self-interested view as to why we need to have an energy transition in Jamaica. Now, our energy policy calls for a certain level of energy security, which really speaks to our ability to ensure that we have a consistent supply of energy and fuel coming into Jamaica. So we welcome Accelerate, was taken over and doing a fairly good job. We hope that you will continue your expansion here. You have a regasification plant just offshore here, and you continue to expand your supply within the country. And we welcome that. That gives us the security, because consider it this way, this plant can't work if the gas doesn't get here. We don't produce the gas here, but we have a certain level of security because the company that is our partner in this has put down the investments to ensure that we have significant storage capabilities and that there is a well-established fleet of ships that will take it here, and we have long-term contracts that will be contracts that will be fulfilled. So that's very important for our security. But that security will be enhanced when we also have a certain level of independence. And the only way to get independence in energy, we have not yet been blessed with the discovery of oil or any. You're testing out in the field. You're working on it. Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to wait on that. We're not going to wait on the discovery of oil. Next term. Okay. We're not waiting on the discovery of oil. Right? What God has given us every day in abundance is solar, and we have some of the highest level of irradiance in our solar, in our sunshine here. That if we were more motivated in taking advantage of it, we could increase the energy generation from solar. But there are other options too that we must explore in the energy mix, including hydro, pumped hydro storage, including, it's not, people don't readily grab onto this one, but nuclear, small modular nuclear. We should explore all the possible potential energy sources, at least put ourselves in a position that should they become feasible, we can jump on it very quickly. And I always give this example. into having a secure supply chain of LNG. Small modular nuclear plants are now being considered by firms. I'm seeing Google and Microsoft and other companies seeking to invest in these things and building them out to supply their data processing needs. And they are using as much electricity as the entire country of Jamaica. So they have to find solutions that work for them. It would only mean that in the next decade or so, these technologies could fall within the range of manageability for Jamaica. But that would only happen not just by the technology maturing, but by Jamaica building out the human resources and legislative environment to be able to take advantage of that. So whilst we won't be able to develop the technology, we can certainly have the people there who will be able to manage the technology. And so we have to be thinking ahead. And so that's what we are trying to do, where we have signed MOUs with Canada, and we're looking at signing with other countries who have nuclear capabilities to help us develop the manpower and the understanding of the science here, so that should that technology becomes something that we could use, we are in a position to use it. But we want to be energy independent as a small island. So we must develop our solar capabilities, we must develop our hydro, and we should also not give up on wind. We should try to develop our wind capabilities as well, and we should invest in pumped solar hydro as well. So all of those things are being done. So the country can rest assured that your government is not just looking at what is in front of us, but we have a periscope that looks all the way out to the horizon to see what the future could bring, and we prepare to meet that future. That is how this government has operated, and that is why we have been able to take on these large, intractable problems and make real impacts on changes in your life. So with those few comments, and I'm very grateful that you have been such a wonderful audience to listen to my lecture. Thank you. And again, congratulations and commendations to Minister.